I'm Robert Esther here at livingpianos.com and virtualsheetmusic.com with a special show. What is a diminished seventh chord? You may have noticed something is different. It's in the air. You've heard it in the theme. You hear it so much in old movies when there's a scary part. In Liszt's Hungarian Rhapsodies and lots of music, the diminished seventh chord. Well, what is it? Well, we're going to discover that today, and this is a two-part series. Next time, we're going to talk about the deception of the diminished seventh chord. But today, we're going to just define what it is. Now, it's interesting how I made a progression from explaining what half steps are, basically two keys together, no keys between, to the whole step, which is two keys together with one key between. Now, a diminished seventh chord is minor thirds, which is a step and a half. It's one half step bigger than the whole step. Now, just as there was only one chromatic scale, and there are two whole tone scales, there are only three possible diminished seventh chords. Let me show you. First of all, building a diminished seventh chord, you count 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. If you count one more, 1, 2, 3, you're back to the same note. So there is your diminished seventh chord. So the first thing to discover is, unlike all other seventh chords, you can't really invert a diminished seventh chord because it's still a diminished seventh chord. If you take, for example, a dominant seventh, and you invert it, you end up with a second at some point, and it will always be there until you get back to the root position. But the diminished seventh chord, no, it's all diminished sevenths. It remains minor thirds no matter what you do. So there are only three of them. Watch. You start with one, go up a half step, go up a half step again, go up one more half step, and you're back to the first one. That's all there is to a diminished seventh chord. But there are such amazing possibilities with the diminished seventh chord because of this. They can go virtually anywhere. Fabulous way to modulate to other keys. And there are many different ways to resolve a diminished seventh chord. We're going to cover it in the next of this series, the deception of the diminished seventh chord. Thank you so much for joining me, Robert Esther, here at livingpianos.com and virtualsheetmusic.com.